My name is Robert Gilardi. I'm the senior designer on the 2010 Mustang. And for me, Mustang's always been an important thing for me. I've been a car person since I could, walk and talk. And it's kind of fitting that we're sitting in a gold one because my mom had a gold '69 Mustang.
Really?
And when I was born, that's what she had. And so when they brought me home from the hospital when I was born,
it wasn't in a gold Mustang.
That's what I said. The very first car I ever rode in as a human being was a gold Mustang. Everyone recognizes a car like this. We have some great shots, and we were putting together an image board to design this car. We found shots of the previous generation Mustang, the 2005, sitting in a garage in London next to a 1970s Boss. And so, the idea that this will translate into the future, and we just need to make sure that we keep that connection both from the legacy of the Mustang's heritage, but also bring in all of the new Facebook type connections, so that we make sure that generation identifies with the car. And part of the thing that I was trying to do with this car is make it something that somebody would continue to covet over time.
Yeah.
So to me, that's just as an important part of sustainability. Every time we ran into any kind of an issue, we always tried to find a solution that made it more of a Mustang and something that we could make an improvement upon.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Let me just tell you about this. If you look at the icons that we have here, this is, at the very end, we had to have this all done.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the traction control and the trunk release button. And, most traction control buttons have just that little sombrero car that's, skidding out of control.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't we make that look like a Mustang? So if you look really close, that is a Mustang. You can see the tri-bar taillights, you can see the kick up, and that, you can see the little gas cap in the middle. That is a Mustang. And we had to work hard to get that through. We had to change the icon on the cluster, and we had to make sure that it was acceptable to all of our safety and driver information, folks. And the great thing about it was, once we did that, our chief nameplate engineer, Paul Randall, who was a great support of the design of this car, he looked at me and he said, Rob, now that we've got the traction control looking like a Mustang, we got to make sure the trunk release looks like a Mustang too. So we were lucky because these buttons are unique for Mustangs, so we could do it.
Do you actually drive one of these? Because I ask that because I wonder whether you think it's important that designers drive as their kind of company car, or as their personal car, the car or one of the cars that they've designed.
Well, I am ordering one of these.
Yeah. Right.
And I have driven Sarah. In fact, I drove one in today.
Yeah.
But I think that, me personally, I think it's important for not just designers, but everybody to really experience a lot of different, cars,
yeah.
and to be very knowledgeable about them.
One of the things we were thinking about as well, and it relates to another question we were asked, is can you see the future of the Mustang? Can you see it getting smaller, lighter, and changing its power plant? Can you see it becoming something that's more compact, going to EcoBoost, and do you think eventually maybe even an electric powertrain, or do you think there's something so inherent to what the Mustang is about?
Well, we need to make sure
here we go.
Do this. That was perfect timing.
Yeah.
I feel extremely lucky to be working on the Mustang because you do get, well, everybody wants to know what we're doing, what it's going to look like, and, so there is a lot of focus, but I'll tell you this, the same amount of attention and care to detail that went into this car, I know you'll see that when you look at the Taurus, and you'll see that in all of our other products. And so I don't think it's limited to Mustang. Mustang is a great foundation and springboard, but then it enables us to put that same care and attention to detail into all of our other vehicles. So I wouldn't say that anything's neglected for Mustang, but it definitely holds a special place in everybody's heart.
Yeah. And do you think the fact that obviously the Camaro and the Challenger have sort of reappeared. Do you think it shows that it's kind of, there's still a desire for people to have these kind of cars? Are you pleased that, We're back with a new Camaro and a new Challenger.
It's a Challenger, actually.
Imitation is
the look at the front.
Yeah. Well, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, is it not? So, to us, it just, it says to me personally that, we obviously are doing something right because if we weren't, there'd be no need for them to come after us. And it's definitely pretty neat, I think, that everybody is getting back to this emotional connection to the automobile. So I think it's just fine. We have an uninterrupted history on this car for 45 years, so it's definitely something that
I hear it's is Barbie the same age as well? Actually, I had some crazy story like that.
I've never really followed Barbie. I was always more into the muscle cars.